live. Welcome to Wonderful Business 483 Group Southern Awesomeness. What is today? Today is the 20th, May 20th at 9:23, and we are starting our broadcast. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, that's not the.
What? What's wrong?
Hold on one second.
Okay, bye.
Oh man, I thought I had it pulled up. Oh, why is it doing this to me? Okay, come on. Discussion. Okay, here we go. I thought I had it pulled up, but I didn't. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So ask a student to offer an open prayer. I can go ahead and say that.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this opportunity that we have to meet as a group. We pray that we'll be able to get through this case study and that we'll be able to learn and understand the concepts taught. And these things we pray for in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. So I guess since I said the prayer, if you want to go ahead and lead the discussion, do you have it pulled up or?
Yeah. So, vote as a group. Should Doug accept the turn offer? Yes or no? I said that he should. Yeah, I don't know what you said, but
Okay. And what is your reasoning for that?
basically, like, from the way it sounded, his investors weren't really looking out for his best interest anyways. And if he took it and sold it for, what was it, like 300 million or something? I think I read it, something like that.
Yeah. The potential for the company was right about 300 to 400 million.
Yeah, and he said that, like, I think somewhere it said he wasn't much of a gambler, so if he could, he would have got rid of his chip. Like, if he had the opportunity to get rid of his chips, he would. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
All right. And I said otherwise. Okay, so basically, I said that he should reject the turn offer because with the turn offer, he would get some cash that would hold him over. It would hold him and his family over, but it would hold him over enough to start a new venture. He would he may need a little bit more than that sale to start a new venture. At least one if he, and then he has to hire new people and all that stuff. In addition, he did say that there is a chance of the company yielding anywhere from 300 million to, I think it was like 600 million. And also it gives him a chance to learn about growing a company and create his own company. Basically, the biggest reason for me was the potential of the company to grow and the potential of the high sellout a couple years down the road from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Nobody thinks it's a good idea. Okay. I guess we discussed our reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. So next question.
Yeah. So how much money will Doug receive? Yeah, and since half of the buyout offer is in cash, you need to treat it as a cash sale and give the investors twice their investment in cash. And since half of the buyout offer is in preferred stock, you need to treat that as a portion of the buyout as stock and give investors 25% of the proceeds from. Yeah, is that the part that you were talking about that you didn't really understand whether it was like 25% to each investor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if it was 25%
Yeah.
per investor or 25%
Mm-hmm.
total.
And then Doug's payout is whatever's left over after buying back his investors, both cash and stock. So what did you say you got for that one? Like what?
Okay, so for the cash buyout,
Mm-hmm.
how much Doug would receive?
Mm-hmm.
For the cash, it was 1.2 million, and then for the preferred stock, it was 1.5 million.
Okay. And then his investors.
Yeah, so his investors would each receive 200,000 in cash,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And then
it
they
would
gave
be
him.
in preferred shares. It'd be 166,666 and 67 cents per investor.
Yeah, and then on top of that, he got the 300,000 in total. So, but then we have to double that, so that's at like 600,000 on top of that he would have to pay them back.
Yeah, yeah. So each investor gets 200,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so he gets 1.2 in cash and then 1.5 in the preferred stock in the new company.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. How much does Shields deserve? And yeah, why does Washing want Doug to reject the turn offer? Didn't Shields he wanted like 50% of the company, right?
50% of the company.
Yeah, I mean, like he wanted to be basically essentially like a co-founder, right?
The company, since the company is young, it's 6 months old. So coming in, yeah, he would be considered a co-founder. Yeah, he would.
No, I
Coming
didn't
in
think.
a management position, only at 6 months. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think he deserved it, to be honest. I think it was being a little bit greedy.
Yeah, I mean, I think 50% is way too greedy. I think since Kozman is the founder of not only the company but the product of the company, which is the software advertising software, since he created the formula for it, I think he deserves a majority share. But I also think Tom Shields, if Tom Shields does contribute, which it shows in the hypothesis thing that he does, then I think that he should get as much as he puts in the company. So I put 60% of the shares, and Shields getting 40%.
I mean, I could see where he's coming from, because he's coming in saying like, yeah, you have this idea, but I can bring in like the technology, the software, like I can bring in the people for you. But like, you have to think of it like as a business. When you like hire people, I mean, like, hold on, where is it? Like when you hire people, you hire people to do that stuff for you, and like you can't just give half of whatever you have to everyone you hire in your business, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I do see where you're coming from. But since he is coming as a CEO, um, people who come into a business as a CEO have a pretty large contribution they have to give to the company, to the board when they come in. And so I think, because let's see, how much did he? Yeah, it shows here common shares. Doug Husman, 4,166,666. Now it doesn't show how much money he put into the company, did or not. But I think if Shields is willing to put in the money to the company, then I think he deserves a say. He doesn't deserve a majority. I don't think he does. But I think if he puts in the money to the company as a CEO, coming in as a CEO, then he deserves a fair say. Now, I did say that the typical Series A CEO gets in the neighborhood of 10%.
Yeah.
I could see how Kozman could, maybe not want him to go more than 20%. But I could see from Shield's point how, for him, it wouldn't be worth it only being a 20% shareholder in the company.
Yeah. I feel like,
considering he lives in California and he has to commute every week.
Yeah, I feel like at that moment, Doug couldn't really afford it because his shares were already getting, or were going to be like diluted because of the capital they were going to get from like the Series A investment. So he couldn't really afford to give out that 50% like in that moment.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for him too because it said in the case study that he's not really much of a businessman, and so investors were already kind of like, it seemed like they were already kind of taking advantage of him.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so I was gonna read the next question. So it says, why does Washing want Doug to reject the turn offer? And won't Washing get a pretty good return on his investment?
In the long-term run, no. Washing would not get a good return on his investment from the long-run standpoint.
Well, didn't he want... Sorry, you can go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, didn't he want to reject the offer in the first place because there's more potential in the long run, and he would make more money instead of just buying out?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So...
And also, his company also, I mean, his venture capital company, if they sold out, would never be able to buy into the company from his own company standpoint, his own venture company. But with him not selling out, the venture company could be the venture capital group to invest, which they did, into the company and be a major shareholder in the company. So
yeah, like if he were to reject the offer, yeah, he would have more shares for himself. Like he wouldn't, I don't think he would have had as much money, but he would have owned more of his, like the company.
Yeah, he would have owned more of the assets for sure.
Yeah, so if you think your company is going to be successful, then, the value of the shares is going to be a lot more in the future than they think they are in the beginning. So it's smart not to give those shares up as well.
Yep.
And then how much does Washington give up if Doug gives Shield 50% of the equity? What was the question again? How much does Washing give if Doug gives Shields 50% of the equity? But does it even take away from the company? Really?
Oh, so only 9. What did I got? About 9%. That's how much he would give up.
How'd you get that?
I don't know.
Because I
Good question.
thought, because I thought I read somewhere that no matter what, he gets 25%.
Let's see here. Coming down to the.
Like, does he even get shares or equity in the company? I don't remember. Let me go back to them.
So there's common shares,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's preferred shares. So of the common shares, it doesn't show that he would get any of the common shares,
Mm-hmm.
but of the preferred shares, he would have his company would have. I wrote it down here. Where is it? Yeah, so he still gets the 8% interest, which is at the Series A round of financing, which is $12,533.
Mm-hmm.
So at the Series A round, Washington's venture capital firm would also own 59% of the preferred stock. That's the preferred stock, not the common stock.
Mm-hmm.
Or 59% of assets, you could say that, I think. So, shoot, what was the question again?
How much does Washington give up if Doug gives Shields 50% of the equity? So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
If he gives 50% of the equity,
Yeah, so if Doug gives Shields like the 50% that he was asking for, like, does Washington give up anything?
I don't know.
Like, does it take away from? I don't know either.
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. All right.
I mean, I guess we can skip it because I don't.
Well, oh no, okay, he'd be left. So if they're talking about the if they're meaning equity to like the amount of money that the company's worth, then he would stand to lose 50% of the equity, and he would retain 9%.
So he would lose 50%. He would have to give up 50%.
Because just from a money standpoint,
Uh-huh.
they let's see here, they and two. Let's see here, that's 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 million divided by the total Series A investment. Yeah, it's 59%. So,
Oh dang, that's good. That's a lot.
well, here's the thing though. Cosma never put any of his own money in. Cosma.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know. That's all I can say.
I don't know either. So I guess we can skip.
Um,
We can just move on. Can Doug use the turn offer to his advantage if he rejects it? For that one I just said maybe, like for some more leverage, yeah, like to keep some of his shares. He could, but I don't.
Well, it depends. Like if, because his colleague said that the firm wanted to acquire the company. So yeah, he'd get a pretty big payout, but would he lose? And well, I guess he would also. So for him personally, yes, it is an advantage. Because he gets instant money and equity in the other company that buys out his technology. So in that case, yes, he does get an advantage from his company standpoint, as from a Yieldex as his company standpoint. I don't think so, because he's given his company completely over to another company.
Yeah. But it seemed like from the case that he just wants to get rid of it and get as much money as he can. I don't know. That's what what I got away from it. That it just seemed like he was, like he just wants to sell it off for as much as he can and just go.
Yeah.
And so
I kind of just got he's unsure of just kind of what's going on with the whole big picture of things. And that's why him and his wife are obviously sitting down and thinking about this and looking over it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and so click here to read the B case as well. I mean, we went over that a little bit, but vote, should Tom hire Barr? Yes or no?
Well, okay. Before reading, prior to the C case, I put, although Barr is unfamiliar with the internet advertising software, he has CTO background, which means he's a tech guy, so he could gain understanding of how it works. He's been in that field. He knows, he knows technology. He knows how it works. So I don't think it would take him that long to understand kind of Kozman's idea of what he was going for. For leadership, I put, since he has only been a CTO, he'd have difficult adjusting to his new role, and he'd probably butt heads with Kozma a bit.
Oh, so you didn't want him to hire Barr?
Actually, without reading the KC study, I put yes. Because he's a tech guy, and he's willing to take a position that he's never taken before. So for me, I said yes, just because he's a tech guy. He understands technology. I think he would fit into the group.
Wait, in the case, he wanted to know, right, if he should hire that guy without Doug knowing, basically.
Uh,
Because he's not getting along with his team right now.
I'm being good at that. By the way, I left my drill over here.
Don't forget it.
well, Kozman wanted to hire his own guy.
Mm-hmm.
He,
You want here? Hold on.
but I don't see anywhere where it says in case B where he was. What's the word? Did you say struggling?
Really good.
Oh, well,
So,
I don't know where I got that from then.
That was from KC.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So Shields just wanted to hire someone who had management experience as
Mm-hmm.
an executive manager.
Mm-hmm.
Abby,
And he was a CTO. Um,
Well, I thought that he should because doesn't Tom, they both have, Tom got 40%, right?
yeah, Tom got 40.
And then Doug sold 20% to get some more capital. So now they're both at 40%.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I thought that he should just because Doug's like slowly trying to sell his company away and like trying to get as much money from it. 'Cause, yeah.
So you bet that Doug was trying to sell his company away?
Yeah, well, I thought that he should hire Bard just because, like I said, like Doug didn't seem like he
Oh,
was
okay.
like super interested. Like he's not in it as much because, like, obviously he sold his 20%, and like he's just, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Because how much they were 17 million shares that they were selling, or that's 20% was 17 million shares.
Mm,
And at 49 cents a share, or didn't they say how much were the shares going for?
a Series A share price per share was 49 cents
Mm-hmm.
per share. So it just depended on how much shares he wanted to sell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just thought it was in the best interest because like Doug isn't showing interest in the future considering he sold back his 25%. Like he sold it back to the company for money. Like he's not reinvesting himself or like money into the company anymore.
Yeah.
So
Well, I took that him selling his 20% of the shares was him trying to boost his company up a little bit more, and
oh really?
that's kind of how I took it as.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know that part. I kind of just skimmed over that part where he sold his 20%.
Yeah. No. So
Okay.
yeah. And then going along with the last one, like Casey, Like, should Tom fire Doug? Like, does Yieldex need Cosman anymore? Kind of thing.
So you want to hear what I put for that?
Yeah, what'd you put for that?
So I put, it sounds like Barr is attempting to steal Cosman's job and his shares in the company. If I was Thomas Shields, I would ask like the fellow employees about Cosman and his interaction with the company and interaction, just kind of like his. Is he there to work, or is he there to clown around? Is he there to just be there? Is he contributing to the company? So kind of just taking it back to what has he brought to the table, and what is he continuing to bring to the table? So I bet, yeah, he needs to talk to the other members of the company. He needs to talk to Washington about it. Because from the email that Barr sent, to me, it just sounded like Barr wanted the CTO position, that he was just being greedy, and he wanted to just take over Cosman and his company. Maybe not take over the company, but at least, take over Cosman's position.
Yeah. I don't know. I put for that one, I just put, they wouldn't be like losing, because it asks like what value does Doug bring to the company, or like how, like I just put that they have his algorithm now, but like they don't necessarily need him anymore. Like I don't know, I feel like he's not doing much, and so it wouldn't hurt them completely if they did fire him. Because I mean, I've like read through the reading that his team wasn't really functional, like they weren't actively being better, and so I feel like bringing in someone else would be for the better, because he's willing to become like the leader and strive for change. So like, yeah.
I'm trying to find that part of like what he was actually contributing to the company. Yeah. Okay.
But if he gets fired, does he still, because he still has his like shares, right? He would still technically own a third of the company, right? So he might not work there.
It's actually got on the exhibit. I believe from the email that in the board meeting he was saying how he needed to fire, that Barr wanted Cosman fired.
So I mean, if he gets fired, like he might not have to work there, but doesn't he still own? Sorry, doesn't he still own? Like he would still be like a stockholder of the company. Like, would he still be able to keep those shares, or?
I'm looking up. So you will not be eligible for any severance benefits or acceleration of vesting under any equity you hold if you resign or are terminated for cause. Okay, yeah. So no, he wouldn't hold on to anything.
Oh.
If in the event of a change of control, the balance of stock purchase and any option grants will be immediately 100% vested. So now that was the thing that the CEO had to sign, but I imagine Osman's thing was pretty similar to that. Yeah, that was Shield's contract. So yeah.
So do you think Doug could have avoided getting into that situation?
Well, yeah, obviously he could have avoided the entire thing with selling out the company to begin with. And he could have also avoided that situation by selling that 20% extra of his shares. Because had he not sold that 20%, and still had he still been a 60% shareholder, he would be untouchable. He owns the majority of the company. He would still be majority owner.
Dang. So the last question, dun dun dun. Do you want to change your minds about the buyout now? I don't know. What do you think?
No. I think he shouldn't have sold that 20% that he did sell. And I believe, the company's at a better spot than when they had started initially. Now they've pre-money valuation is at $4 million, not so 4.9, so $5 million. And post series A valuation is 8.4 million. So, if he went ahead and just went out of the company now and sold all of his shares, he would be better off now than he would have selling it to his one colleague who offered the turn deal. So no, I think it was a good pursuit. If he sold out now, he would have a lot more now. than he would have.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Good.
what did you say for that?
Well, I mean, no, like after talking through you with this, like, nah, I do like think that he should have, yeah, that he should have waited. He shouldn't have, like you said, like he shouldn't have sold that 20%. He should have just waited.
Yep.
So dang,
All right.
got me to change my mind. Snaps and
Well, look
claps.
at
Snaps and claps for you.
that.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's
All
it
right.
for tonight then.
Yep. So I will go ahead and stop the recording.
Mm-hmm.
And